City of Philadelphia, big hand everybody for DJ Miller.
His middle name's Jacob. Thank you. Oh my god.
What's going on, everybody? I'm from the city of Philadelphia, although when I found out tonight that I'd be performing in New Jersey, I had to run out and get myself an Ed Hardy t-shirt so that I'd fit in. A lot of people have been knocking the Philadelphia Eagles this week for signing Michael Vick and saying that, by signing him that they're condoning cruelty to animals, but I don't think that that's true at all. I just think that they're giving him a platform to make amends for all the things that he's done, and his press conference went a long way, but, he has to prove through his actions that he's serious. So this week, in an attempt to prove that he really does love dogs, he has agreed to date women from New Jersey. So I was watching all the Michael Vick news on TV today, and I saw this new commercial on TV for the Nuva ring. It's this form of female birth control. Have you guys heard about this? If I was in marketing, I would just scare women into using this thing, it's so easy to get pregnant these days. I'd make it kind of like that horror movie, The Ring, only this would be the Nuva ring. Hey, have you heard about that videotape? The one where women watch it and then the phone rings and a voice goes, 9 months, and the bitch gets pregnant. Terrible. All my friends are starting to think about having kids, and I just don't really understand it. In today's economy, having a newborn baby is just not a good investment. You're going to have to pay for that thing for like 18 years, and then you might have to tack college on top of that. It's worse than buying a new car. Personally, I'd rather shake my ass down to the adoption agency and get myself a used kid. Certified pre-owned. And, just get maybe a 12-year-old, pay the thing off in about 6 years, and then junk it, That'd be a good way to go. If you do decide to raise a kid and send him to college, there's a lot of things that your kids should consider before they pick the university. There's the cost of the place, the location, the academic standing, and as I found out the hard way, the mascot. My brother and my father attended Northwestern and Villanova, making them both Wildcats. I decided to go the other way. I attended the University of Massachusetts. And aside from paying my lovely out-of-state tuition, the good folks of Massachusetts decided to make our mascot the Minutemen. Now, in the Revolutionary War days, Minutemen were a bunch of guys that were a rapidly deployed force to fight the British, but these days it's kind of just a guy that deploys his force a little too rapidly. It was a lot easier when a Minuteman just had to worry about how quickly the British were coming. I was thinking that, Massachusetts could really help me out. I think they should just change the mascot. We should change it to the UMass, guys with big dicks that can fuck all night long. So, I pitched that idea to them, and I'm still waiting to hear back. But when it comes to, pleasing women, I really think I have nothing to worry about, It's not hard for me to satisfy a woman, Even when I bring ridiculously drunk girls home from the bar, their pleasure is my utmost concern, I always check in with them to make sure that they're having a good time, You like that, baby? Lay there and act like you're unconscious if you like that. Yeah! My brother's a little different, he's a little weird when it comes to women. He used to use the term smash, both to mean taking a shit and fucking a girl, and it got kind of confusing, so at one point I just had to put an end to it. He came home one night, marches through the front door with this big smile on his face and was like, yo, I just smashed. And I didn't know whether I should give him a high five or tell him to go wash his hands. It's a little bit disgusting. So my last name is Miller, which kind of makes me hate on other beer companies because I like to rent my surname. And I saw this Coors ad on TV the other day. Pete Coors, the head of Coors, is taking a stroll through the Rocky Mountains, and he kind of looks into the camera and he's like, some beer makers look out their window and see buildings and skyscrapers. some don't. I was like, okay, thanks for that information, Pete. You know, the last time I checked, Coors was about as appealing as getting jerked off by Edward Scissorhands. And I'm no beer expert or anything, but, you know, I was unaware that the view from your window was what really affected the taste of the beer. I was under the impression that it was the ingredients that you put in the beer. Now, in my humble opinion, maybe he should spend a little less time peering out the window and maybe a little more time working on his beer. You know, personally, I don't care if the brewmaster of my favorite brewery looks out the window and sees buildings and skyscrapers, or the Rocky Mountains, or two dogs fucking, as long as the beer tastes good.
What?
Well, despite my last name being Miller, which doesn't really give it away, I'm Jewish, and despite the stereotypes, my parents have actually gotten less cheap as time has gone on, which is kind of weird for me. We actually went out to a restaurant last night and they left the waiter a 40% tip, and I was kind of off-put by this. I was like, you know, why the hell are they leaving this guy 40%? This guy is a complete stranger. They don't even know him. I mean, I'm their firstborn son and they didn't even leave my penis a tip.
Oh.
Thank you guys.
Bad news.